Hi there, Sagittarius. How are you? It's me, Anissa, from the Inner Stereo, and I'm back again doing your end of September 2018 readings. So this reading is going to be from the 23rd, no, actually it's the 22nd, until the 30th of September 2018. And it's going to be a relationship spread, so you can always apply it with anywho. It could be with your husband, wife, girlfriend, exes, fiance, friends, family members, colleagues, anywho. I'm basically just going to pick up your relationship energy in the now, all right? Make sure to check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because I tend to notice that with my readings, I tend to resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign. Right, Sagittarius, so how are you guys doing right now? Let's see your energy for the now. It's very weird because usually, Sagittarius cards just kind of like come popping up like that, because I feel like right now you guys are kind of like much more secretive about your love life. There's like a lot of things that you kind of like kept it in for quite some times now, that is very hard for you to be, word vomit how you truly feel about things. I mean, Sagittarius are known as someone who is very, very blunt, right? Someone who is very, very straightforward and say what they think. And you guys do have a tendency to give free opinions without even, people asking for it. But when it comes to your feelings, when it comes to becoming emotionally vulnerable and talking about emotions, how you truly feel, it's kind of like a little bit hard for you, especially when you're trying to figure things out, if that makes sense. If you're trying to figure things out, what is it that I feel? Is it okay for me to do this? Is it okay for me to be emotionally vulnerable towards someone? Do I stand on the same page as them? Where do I stand in this person's life? Something like that. It kind of is a little bit hard for you to do so. Okay, so what's your energy for the night? You have the shadow side. Ooh. Why? Why? Again, you also have the Eight of Swords in reverse, you have the Six of Swords, and then you have the Queen of Cups. The only energy that I'm loving from your cards thus far is the Queen of Cups. This is beautiful. These, not so, but give time, okay? You cannot heal just like in one day. Nobody could ever give you like a pill to make you feel better in one night. Nobody. So with the shadow side, I mean, you guys are getting out of a period where you felt like you're mentally entrapped. You guys are coming out in a period where you felt like everything seems to be going against you. I feel like you guys are kind of like starting to realize one by one what has been blocking you to move forward with your life, and how you have given someone so much power without them even asking for it. But you already gave them like so much power to make you feel trapped, to make you feel imprisoned, to make you feel like, whether you realize it or not, those type of things, those powers that you've given towards someone and how their actions kind of like affect you, it makes a blockage all around you without you even knowing that. But you're getting out of that period. I feel like you guys are kind of like taking your fire back. You're kind of like taking your control back. You're taking your power back again into your life. But then still, you're still dealing with the shadow side of you here. All right, although you're kind of like coming out of that period, but sometimes when something triggers you to think of something, when something just triggers you to remind you of them and your relationship in general, it just makes you feel kind of like squirmy on the inside, because the shadow side is not really a healthy place to live in. I mean, we've been living in this state for like 2 years, in the past. Sagittarius, it's kind of like time for us to come out of it. And I feel like you guys are in the mood to do that with the Six of Swords, but it's taking quite some time, okay? Old habits die hard. And it has become a habit for you to be quite insecure, to be less confident than you were like, let's say 7 years from now, 7 years ago, okay? You guys are not as confident. You guys are not as cocky. You guys are not as optimistic as you guys were like 7 years back or 6 years back, right? But you're not kind of like coming out of that period because you kind of like understand that all those insecurities that you're feeling deep down inside is what's blocking you towards achieving your dreams. The shadow side also talks about you kind of like wanting to compare yourself to others. Don't do that. I mean, if that's the case with you, stay away from social media. For real, I hate social media for that. Because I feel like it's like a tool for people to kind of like boast how happy they are and everything like that. And what is in social media is such a lie, because I was an influencer before. I have a brand and I was an endorser before, and I was the one who was kind of like putting an image out there how a happy mom I was, how perfect my life was, and people paid me to for their brand and everything like that. I was like that, but then that account was gone because it was very toxic for me. Stay away from social media for now. Stay away. Try to live in the present. Try to enjoy the company of others in real life rather than in social media, than in through WhatsApp messages, through whatever that is. Try to be more present because right now you guys are embodying the energy of the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is actually like an Oprah or Ellen type of energy, you know, where you guys feel very, very emotionally understanding because by you kind of like talking towards other people, towards other person who are in the same problem as you or who have been through what you've been through, you actually get like a lot of healing from it. Okay, so keep on with this Queen of Cups and stay away from things that are toxic. Stay away from things that's just making you feel detached from the real world that you're living in. Go about the challenge. So what's challenging you for the first one? You have the Eight of Cups. I did identifying what it is that makes you emotionally unfulfilled, I mean. So there is a certain person in your life that makes you emotionally unfulfilled, and you know it for all along that this person doesn't make you emotionally unfulfilled. And it's actually kind of like one of the ways your gut is saying you, your subconscious is telling you like, no, I don't think this is right for you, Sagittarius. But it's very, very hard for you to kind of like walk away from the situation. You did try to as a mean of distraction, but something always brings me back to you. It never takes too long. You know, Gravity, I forgot who sang that, but it was such a beautiful song. No matter what I say or do. You have the Wheel of the Year. So the karmic loop is still going on from you. Stop kind of like cursing your luck. It's there. I mean, your luck is shining bright like a diamond in the now, but you're blocking it. You know what I mean? You're kind of like blocking it. Try to read about law of attraction. Try to read about manifesting. How about how you kind of like, sometimes you're unintentionally allowing energy vampires who, whatever they do, kind of like affect your vibes in general. And those type of people are the ones that needs to be blocked and cut off completely. You know, I did spring cleaning. I think it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago where I kind of like blocked people that is toxic and unhealthy for me. You know, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So please do that. With the Wheel of the Year, sometimes it's also a universe way of saying that if it's meant to be for you, like universe knows best, God knows best. God always knows best, right? And because God or universe loves you so much, they don't want you to be in a position where you're not supposed to be in. Okay? So it's like no matter, so if you wish for unhealthy things to come your way, if you wish for toxic things to come your way, it's never gonna happen. Why? Because God or universe loves you so much. Try to keep this philosophy or ideal that, you know, universe or God, you trust your unknown future to God or to the all-knowing God or to the all-knowing universe, if that makes sense. Because universe or God knows best. You know, trust the process. Trust the process. Right. So in the past, you kind of like were dealing with two people. The first one was someone who kind of like come charging at you, but I feel like you don't kind of like see eye to eye with them. Here with the Two of Cups in reverse. Also, your emotional intensity kind of like has lessened. There's no passion anymore. I think it's just more kind of like of a habit, or there are certain things that you cannot let go of yourself from them. That's why you kind of like is entertaining them. You don't see them as, I mean, they see you as a star that is very, very attractive and they're willing to go to that, but I don't feel like you guys are that way, you know what I mean? And you have the Star card, then you also have the Six of Cups in reverse. There was kind of like a falling out that you had towards someone in the past who you cannot really let go of because you felt like the connection that you felt towards someone in the past with the Six of Cups in reverse in here was something that was so profound in your life. Like it's a connection that you cannot run away from. It's a connection that is very, very solid that just kind of like pulls you together with them. It was so effortlessly, that connection, you know, you don't need to force it. You don't need a, oh come on, I'm just going to give it a try, that sense, because it just happens. Okay, but with the Six of Cups in reverse, it also talks about you. I mean, It's very, very natural for a human. It's very, very human nature to look for other explanations rather than logical explanations when you cannot really pinpoint what is the truth of the matter, if that makes sense. And it's very, very natural for you or for people to kind of like believe, oh, I know this is why this is this way, is because he's my twin flame and he's supposed to be the runner and I'm the chaser, so it's normal for me. No, it's not normal. It's not normal. Free human magnet syndrome, why we love people who hurt us. Okay, it's not normal. It's not normal. Like, can your ego really take it? I mean, Sagittarius do have ego. Sometimes people forget that Sagittarius is a fire sign because sometimes your ego is not even there. You know, people don't see you having this ego, but once it's kind of like been bruised a lot, and you kind of like burst and you show it by your 5 minutes display of anger, it's like, holy shit, yeah, she's a fire sign, yeah, he's a fire sign. But then 30 minutes later, you guys forget what you were angry about, and there's like, where did that fire go? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, so please don't seek validations, don't seek of other things rather than, well, it was not healthy for you. The Six of Cups in reverse. The Six of Cups in reverse is also them kind of like feeling that, you know, they are holding on to one certain bad memories of the past. That's why it turns them off emotionally. If you're dealing with one person, actually the feeling is kind of like quite mutual. I mean, you still kind of like hold on to this connection because of how effortless it was, and them too kind of like still holding on to this relationship of how effortless it was, them coming kind of like charging at you, but you do feel like deep down inside, you guys starting to be emotionally and mentally checking out day by day, and them too. If you're only dealing with one person though, this person is kind of like very, very resentful in a way that they have the tendency to put in a zoom in focus of the mistakes of the past that you did for them. You know, although they kind of like come charging at you, you still feel like something is off. The reason for that being is because they are licking their wound for quite some time now. Sweet, you're beautiful tonight. Ooh. Now, the person who you have like this effortless connection with is being depicted by is being symbolized by the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is good. Why? Because it shows it has like an unwavering devotions and loyalty that they have towards you. Like they already kind of like put their mind to set like, yep, I think I want to give it a try. But the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is a non-forward movement, meaning that they're staying in their place. But they do have that unwavering devotions and loyalty towards you. And they're kind of like being like a little bit wishy-washy. Should they kind of like come at you and address the problem? Should they come of you to offer their pentacles or not? So they're kind of like wishy-washy in some ways right now. So trying to figure things out. What to do with you, Sagittarius? What to do? And I hate the fact that, you know what, as a Sagittarius, I don't know, is it because please let me know though, are you a hunter or not? Are you a chaser or not? Because I don't see myself as a chaser. I don't see myself as a hunter. You know, I'm very, very passive when it's come to someone that I really, 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 really like. I don't know how much time I said really, but I'm not really aggressive. So good luck. I mean, if you're a cross watcher and you kind of like been reading how Sagittarius love the thrill of the chase, la 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 la. No, we don't. We don't. Okay? I don't know if it's like my moon dominant thing and water dominant thing. I don't know. Just let me know how you guys are. Because I don't really chase. And my Sagittarius friends don't chase too. Like they keep it cool, just like an Aquarius type of thing, you know? They keep it cool, they flirt, yes. But to become emotionally vulnerable and to be the first person who extend and everything like that, no, I don't. Right. I talk too much. Sorry. So now you guys are kind of like focusing much more on what makes you happy. You have the Nine of Cups energy in here. So you guys are much focusing on much more on what makes you happy. The other party might kind of like see you guys as being very, very selfish though, because you are focusing so much on yourself. But that's a good one though. What's wrong? Like what's wrong? I see people the whole damn time losing themselves in a relationship, losing themselves in love, giving, extending over. When that relationship ends, they forgot who they were. They forgot what it feels like to love themselves. What's wrong with this? Nothing. Okay, keep on this energy, it's good. You have the King of Swords in reverse here. Try not to play any mental manipulations and mind games in here. Sagittarius, don't, for real. I feel like you guys, you know, it's kind of like a little bit of a, what is it, tug of war? A pride competition going on. I mean, like, they kind of like want you to come at them. They do still have this unwavering devotions and loyalty that they have towards you. You, on the other hand, you have the King of Swords in reverse. You felt like they need to come to you. They need to be the one to be extending something because you felt kind of like they deserve to do that because they bail on you with the Six of Cups in reverse in here. Like, no, I'm not having it. You know, your brain, like, when that impulse, it's great though. It's great. I mean, Sagittarius are known to be someone who is very, very impulsive. And me, especially as a Sagittarius, when I do have that impulsive hit to do something really stupid when it comes to love, like I already said, like, no, I'm not having it. But then something hits me and it becomes so impulsive. I try to do things. But now your impulsive kicks would never, ever defeat your logical thing, your brain. You're so stuck and stubborn about it. Like, nope, nope, I will not. Good one. You have the Seven of Cups in reverse. You are coming to a full realization about what is really going on. Which one is the lie? Which one is the truth? Which one should I really trust? Which one should I not trust? I feel like with the Seven of Cups in reverse here, clarity starts to come at you one by one by one by one. If you were dealing with multiple options, multiple people in the past, you guys are kind of like now sticking to one person, focusing so much more on one person, or even kind of like letting them go completely. That is so me. Letting them go completely because you want to focus on your self-happiness at the moment, okay? It's good. It's a good feeling to be single, though, and to have nobody to date. It's good. Like, I haven't been in this state for quite some time, so it's good. Yeah, you have the Seven of Cups in reverse in here. I mean, Sagittarius has a tendency to see things in a rose-colored glasses because of your optimistic. Being optimistic is good, but when you delude yourself by being too optimistic is not good. It's not healthy. I mean, Sagittarius are you guys are so fucking smart. Let's just claim it, okay? We are the philosopher of the zodiac. We're always curious about things. Every time people talk about something, we know because we read about them. We're so knowledgeable, right? You guys are so smart. But when it comes to love, however, because, you know, you have that fire going on, you have that impulsive kicking in, and you have that optimistic vibe in you, you tend to delude yourself by being too optimistic and completely dismissing red flags that was being thrown at you for quite some time. So I feel like you're starting to get clarities one by one. You're now kind of like able to pinpoint exactly which one is it that I saw as a reality. Was it a fantasy, something that I created inside of my own head, or is it the truth? You know what I mean? Now let's see your future. Lima kartu masa lalu, please. Would you let me? Like, I swear to myself that I'm going to be doing like a really, really short reading because it's only for like 7 days, but I could never do that. I don't know why. With you, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, I can never do short readings. Or maybe because I talk too much. Yeah, there was like a comment who said like, stop talking too much. Damn, female like to hear themselves talk. I agree with you. I agree with you, whoever wrote it. Okay, my battery is running out. Need to make it fast. You have the Moon card here. All right, so you're going to get out of So this person who did have like an unwavering devotions and loyalty, who's not doing anything in the now, who you felt like they need to come at you really, really fast, they're going to kind of like propose to you with this Hierophant card. So don't worry about that, okay? But be mindful though, the moment that they kind of like propose, because it takes like a really, really long mental process for them to do that, they're going to be quite defensive. So one tiny bit of a rejection from your part is not going to be taken quite lightly from you. So I feel like you guys are kind of like being kind of like a little bit wishy-washy in the future because you don't know like, this is too good to be true what this person is doing. Kind of like trust your intuition in the now and also think of yourself if you were to go back into becoming in a relationship with them, or if you were to accept this proposal that they're actually going to be doing, is it beneficial for you? Is it beneficial towards other people who you surround yourself with, meaning your family, your friends, your business, your work, whatever that is it beneficial for all of you? Because they're kind of like coming back, but one single tiny dot of rejection is going to make it put them off, because they do have like a lot of fear of rejections, and the mental process that it took them to do that is very, very long. So it was a sacrifice from their part. They see them as a sacrifice. But the best part about it is that the moment when they extend that offer, you know, all of the past hurt that you've been dealing with, you're going to get over it. So it's actually looking very, very beautiful, Sagittarius. So I'm going to end this before my camera shuts down because my battery is dead. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next week for your October reading. I hope you have like a great, magnificent week ahead. Bye-bye.